Hey everybody, it's Laura with McLeod Homestead, and I am coming at you on this beautiful evening. I've got a little fire going beside me. Not going to have too many of these nights left, as summer is officially over, at least for us. The kid is back in school now. It's after Labor Day, and I gotta say, guys, it was one heck of a busy summer. There's a lot of things I did not share with you guys that went on. We had a wedding of my oldest nephew. Congratulations. We had a burial of somebody that was like a mother to me. We did a lot of camping, obviously. That's kind of been a given with us, with the kayaking, but there's been extra kayaking as well. But yeah, I'd say about 3/4 of our camping was planned. The other quarter wasn't, which was awesome. It was great. Spent time with the grandkids, and we had swim lessons mixed in there, along with spending time with my mom and doing a few things with her. Trying to think. Oh, we did a lot. So we went and stayed with my sister-in-law for a weekend. Did an escape room, Alice in Wonderland themed. That was rather of a bust for us. I'm sure others were very successful, but not so much for us. But we did still enjoy the day and did some shopping. We took the kids to the zoo, which they all had a blast. We swam. It was a good weekend. My son, he got his first apartment, so it was fun going down there, and took him shopping with his friend, and that was quite the experience. How do I find my youngest? Just look on the shoulder of my son's friend, and there he is. We spent a little bit of time, not nearly as much as normal, at the races. I got my kitty harassing me. Can you say hi, Tigger? Huh? Can you say hi? I know. You haven't seen me much, have you? No. He wants some lovin's. We were gone all weekend. Can you say hi? Hi. So I went and spent a weekend at my son's apartment. And while he was busy, me and the little guy went on the Hiawatha. So he got to experience the paddle boat there. And then we met up with my son and his friend later on, and we made the trek down to Port Royal to the races, which that was a very good time. And it's been crazy. I've been on the go. And believe it or not, I did actually get some gardening done. I got very frustrated with my big garden. Every time I planted something in there, something went in there and chewed off the top, so I said the heck with the big garden this year. But I've got an abundance of basil, tomato plants. I mean, I've been picking zucchini. My green beans didn't fare so well. I've got things growing in my hydroponics, which I've got some acorn squash. I've got some acorn squash I know going good in my hydroponics. So the gardening didn't fare as well as I would have liked, but we got some. Not gonna lie, when it comes to the gardening, I am still struggling with that and getting myself back into really diving in as deep as I was there. I did get some canning done though. A lot of things I just haven't actually made videos of because it was just little things here and there. And in some ways, I think the second year has been a little bit more difficult without having my late husband with me. Don't get me wrong, I've had great friends. They watch out for me. I get messages every day, checking in. Where you at today? What's going on? So my last video was of us going to Black Moshannon, Pennsylvania State Park. I've got a passport book, and my goal is in 4 to 5 years to have visited every single state park in the state of Pennsylvania. There's quite a few. But anyhow, not gonna lie, by the time I got back from that camping trip, and in between us doing things, I come home and I push and I struggle to get things done around here and caught up. So by the time I got back from that camping trip, I started the mowing, and yeah, my mom had called me. And she needed some help with weed eating. So I went over there, and the first day, nobody had weed eated all summer in these couple areas. So it wasn't just a real easy job. And the first day I ended up getting stung multiple times. Not fun. That was the day we got the pigs. So the second day I went over and I finished up her weed eating. Did some trimming of some of the bushes, trying to get her elderberry plant to be able to widen out again and grow well. This elderberry bush is about gone, unfortunately, and it was one I remember picking from when I was a kid beside the barn. And so my arms were shot, my body was shot, I was done. I just did not have any energy left in me. And anybody who knows me knows that I will not hire somebody to help me do a job that I can do unless I absolutely have had enough. And that's the point I was at. I hired a neighbor to come down and get all my banks weed eated. I mean, just lifting the weed eater killed my arms. I was to that point. And I know the one day I was sitting on the couch talking to my friend, and I'm like, I feel guilty. I feel like I should be outside working in the garden doing something while he's out there weed eating. And she says to me, she says, start twiddling your thumbs. So, all right. So I start twiddling my thumbs. Now what? She says, you're doing something. She says, you do not have to be always doing something. You need a break. Yeah, she was right. She was definitely right. So my body was wore out, exhausted. I'd had all I could do. Then Alex and I, we were invited to go to Delaware with my son's roommate's family for Labor Day weekend. And at the beginning, I actually had no intentions on going. None. And I told them, I'll let you know by Wednesday before the weekend on if I was going to go. Give myself some time to rest and see how I feel. So finally, when Wednesday hit, I was getting a little bit more energy back, and I decided, you know what? It's our last trip of the summer. Let's just go. We'll have fun. I got enough oomph in me for one last trip. Yeah. I still almost did not go on that trip because Thursday night I came out to feed my pigs and they were gone. So here I am, I call for my pigs, and surprisingly enough, they came to me when I called. So after a few minutes, we got them into the dog carrier and got them back up to their pen. So I had to make a makeshift gate to hold them in their pen for the weekend while I was gone, because I did not have time to fix the area that they got out. Meanwhile, while I'm working on doing that, I had my dog escaping from the fence. So I had to figure out how the heck she was becoming Houdini and getting out of the fence. So I figured that out and had to fix that. And I was just like, am I being told not to go? So I almost didn't. And I kept telling myself, nope, you've already said you're going. You got to keep your promise. Alex is all excited now to be going. So I'm getting so in the process of getting the pigs all set up too, I had to climb over the pallets that I used to make a gate, and there is some rusty nails sticking out of the pallet, and I ended up getting my leg pretty good on them. So I've got a pretty bad boo-boo on my leg, but nothing that needed stitches. And I double checked, good on my tetanus shot, because that was like my thought, great, here I go, now I'm gonna have to go and get a shot, make sure that's up to date before I leave, because these are some pretty rusty nails, pretty bad. Who knows what was on them? I would have protected myself. But Friday morning came. The pigs were still in where they were supposed to be. The dogs were staying in the fence where they were supposed to be. Everything went pretty smooth Friday morning. And we left. I wanted to be out of here by 10. We were only 10 minutes late, so that was pretty successful. So I figured we'd break the trip down to Delaware up because it was about a little over 7-hour trip. So I figured we'd break it up about part way. And Alex and I stopped in Strasburg, where we took a train ride and we went to the Choo Choo Museum and got to see this model train set village community. I don't know what, but it's in a huge room and it's just fun to go in and look at. My parents first took me to that when I was little, and it's been there ever since. So we went and did that and stretched our legs, had ice cream because it was warm. It was a nice warm day, and finished our drive down to Delaware and got to spend the weekend with a very nice family. We had a very enjoyable time. The community that they have their camper in has its own private beach in the bay, so the first day we just kind of hung out on there, went and did. Alex got to play on the playground because that was right across from us, and it was just very nice. Had fires every night that we sat around. The one night we went to the boardwalk and we did mini golf. There was 4 kids and 3 adults, and we had fun. And then after that, the kids had to do go-karts, so they really had fun. The next day we were in the ocean, did the tourist thing and walked the boardwalk, did a little shopping. Like I said, played in the ocean, played in the big waves. Alex just really loved that. And then Monday morning we got up, got around. Oh, excuse me. So Monday morning we got up and got around and headed home. And I says to my little guy on the way home, I says, is there anything you want to do? And he says, I want to stop at my favorite lake. I said, which one's that? Raystown. Of course, I already knew that one. That's his and my favorite lake. We go 2-3 times a year. So it's all right. Weather's nice. Why not? We have nothing to race home to. Nobody was here waiting for us. We are on our own time schedule. It's all right. So we stopped. Excuse me. So we stopped and we just checked out the dam and an overlook, and we didn't do any swimming. By this time, both him and I, we're just pretty. Let's hang out, stretch our legs. We're happy we stopped. But we were both ready to get home. So, today's my first day home after our trip. I feel more energized again now that I have given my body time to stop doing so many chores and actually take the time to relax. I'm ready to go again. I am ready to start doing my projects around here because I'm not joking. When I came back from Black Moose Shannon, nope. Any projects I wanted to do, there's no way I was doing them. Absolutely not. I'd had enough. So one of the things that went on was the tenants in the one house moved out. And to say they left it in a bad state is an understatement. So, 2 loads to a landfill with my truck and trailer each time of garbage. Just floors me how people could be so disrespectful. You know, people are nice enough to give them a place to live, and their rent was nowhere near where it should have been. But anyhow, we won't get into that. So today, my first trip was to the landfill to get rid of that second load. I had appointments. We had soccer practice. I had my township meeting tonight. So it was a pretty busy day. And I made a phone call. Yes, we are going to start on that next project. So as I mentioned earlier, my big garden really frustrated me. The second year in a row, I have had problems with small animals getting in there and eating my plants. It's not the deer. Nope. Not the deer. So pretty frustrated with the big garden I am. And I know I pointed out in other videos that pile of slab wood there that I have. But for my next project, that pile there is nowhere near enough. So what we are going to do is we are going to start rectifying that situation over that big garden. And what I am talking about and what I'm going to show you is going to come in the morning. Good morning, everyone. So I am over here. And we are checking on our girls this morning. You want to say hello? Good morning, Ziggy. Hello, Nellie. Hello. Hello, girls. You've been rooting. Would you guys like some num-nums? Aww. Would my girls like some food? Well, I can't reach your bowl, so I will just dump it on the ground for you. Yes. I see I gotta get you some water. Not a problem. There's my girls, Ziggy and Nellie. I should have known better. But what I'm going to do is just dig a trench. I have another piece of fence I'm going to run across here. Hopefully soon these pigs will have enough weight on them that I can let them roam it all where the fence is buried and they won't squeeze out of the cattle panel, which is what they did. They got through that fence here, walked right out the cattle panel. So I wanted to show you, this is the acorn squash growing on the hydroponics. There's quite a few, and I'm pretty happy. As you can see, that is the one pile of slabs I have. I have not bothered to weed eat around the fence. I have not taken care of inside the fence. I do have some tomato plants growing. Hopefully they don't get disturbed, but if they do, they do. Because we need to start working on this project. So the first goal of what we're gonna do is I gotta get the mowing done around here. Don't like snakes. And then I am gonna start tearing the fence off. We're gonna keep the fence because we're gonna use it again, but just in a different way. So that is what I'm gonna do now, is just get some mowing done, start the prep work. So I just wanted to show you real quick. I dug a trench. I took and I bent the fence over, putting rocks. Then we're burying it. That will hopefully temporarily hold them until they are big enough and they cannot escape the cattle panels. Alright guys, so I've got a change of clothes on. It is way too hot today, but just got my trailer all hooked up and we are going to go get our next item that we need to work on this fence. So I'll show you that here in a bit. Today did not go as planned. I did not get as much mowing and weed eating done as I had hoped. Did not get that fence down. It was so hot today. I got that fence for the pig done, and then I decided it was time to cool off. Went and got the slab wood. While I was doing that, my son messaged me and wanted to know if I could meet him this evening with the trailer so he could borrow it. So needless to say, I said if he wanted me to do something like that, he needed to find a way to have somebody unload it for me. He did. So I got back to the house, went down and got the hay bales, and I finished up the pig area, which I'll show you a picture here. Hey girlies, you happy to have your space back, huh? Yeah, eating your dinner. And then his buddy came and unloaded the trailer for me, but I did not meet him like he wanted to. He's currently on his way to come pick the trailer up. And the reason being, when I went and got the hay bales, I made a dumb mistake when I was backing the trailer up and made a big boo-boo. Take a look. So, needless to say, I've got an appointment to get an estimate done for that tomorrow. I'm done driving for the day. My son, I asked him what he wanted for dinner. He said pizza. We got pizza. No, it was 6 o'clock at night by this time. Yeah. So, this is where I'm going to end this video. So the only thing that got finished was the pig area, and they are happy. They are playing. And tomorrow is a new day. We're going to take the rest of the night, do our normal chores with the animals, get ourselves cleaned up, and gonna relax. But thanks for watching, guys, and next video, as long as weather cooperates, we're getting that project started. And we will see you on that next video. Thanks, guys. Toodles.